Good morning, students. Today we move on to the next chapter of EMT. So, in the previous chapter, I told you about transmission lines. So, we derived various relationships. Okay, first we read about the type of transmission lines. Then we go for the circuit model of a transmission line. Then you derive the various equations, transmission line equations. Okay, then the solutions of the transmission line equations. Then we found out the characteristic impedance and the propagation constant. So now we derive this formula of Z0 and the formula of alpha and beta for a ideal line. Okay, so let us start our derivation. So you know that characteristic impedance Z0 equal to V0 plus by I0 plus, this is equal to R plus j omega L by gamma. Now from wave equation solution we obtain that gamma is equal to root over of R plus j omega L into G plus j omega C. So putting this value of gamma here, I get Z0 is equal to R plus j omega L by root over of R plus j omega L into G plus j omega C. So this is equal to R plus j omega L by this is entire root over. So I can write it as root over of R plus j omega L into root over of G plus j omega C. Now this R plus j omega L, suppose it is X. So X I can write as root over of X square, or root X into root X will also give me X. So this R plus j omega L I write as root over of R plus j omega L into root over of R plus j omega L. So root over will cancel out, and how much will remain? Simply R plus j omega L will remain. Okay. So in this format 1 R plus j omega L, and in denominator you have root over of R plus j omega L. So these two cancels out. So how much remains? Root over of R plus j omega L by root over of G plus j omega C. So this can be written as entire whole root over of R plus j omega L by G plus j omega C. So in this way you derive the formula of Z0 is equal to root over of R plus j omega L by G plus j omega C. Clear? So whatever the value of Z0, I told you in the previous class that Z0 is equal to root over of R plus j omega L by G plus j omega C. You are clear in this derivation that how this Z0 is coming root over of R plus j omega L by root over of G plus j omega C. Okay, clear? Then let us move on to the derivation of alpha and beta. So as we know from wave equation, what is our alpha? Alpha is omega root over of mu epsilon by 2 root over of 1 plus sigma by omega epsilon whole square minus 1. Now when you consider the line to be ideal or lossless, then what is your conductivity of the dielectric? 0. I told you this sigma we are considering is the conductivity of the dielectric. The conductivity of the conductor will be infinite. So here we are taking the conductivity of the dielectric. Why we are taking? Because we are considering the alpha and beta. These are the propagation constants. Okay, these are the parameters. What is your propagation constant? Gamma. Gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta. So this alpha and beta are part of the propagation constant. So that means the wave is propagating. So what we have considered, the wave is propagating in free space. Okay, so free space means dielectric. So for dielectric, the conductivity will be 0 if the dielectric is ideal. Ideal insulator. Dielectric is what? Insulator. So ideal insulator means conductivity is equal to 0. So putting sigma 0, 1 plus 0 whole square. So this sigma I am putting 0. So this becomes 0. So 1 plus 0 whole square becomes 1. 1 root over becomes 1. 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So this I have written omega root over of mu epsilon by 2 1 plus 0 whole square root over is 1. So 1 minus this minus 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 0. So omega into root 0 is 0. So 0 into something is 0. So in this way we obtain that alpha is equal to 0. Clear? So how this condition for lossless line alpha is equal to 0 is coming? Now you are clear? So now let us move on to beta. So the formula of beta is same formula, simply here it is alpha is minus 1, in case of beta it is plus 1. So put again sigma equal to 0. So how much you get? 1 plus 0 whole square root over is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So here I get beta is equal to omega mu epsilon by 2, 1 plus 0 whole square plus 1. The root over I have left out because root 1 is 1. Okay. So this is equal to omega root mu epsilon by 2 into 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 cancels out. So how much remains? Omega into root over of mu into epsilon. Now if you recall from the formula in the previous class, I told you that mu into epsilon is equal to L into C. So putting here in this equation, beta is equal to omega into root over of mu into epsilon, or beta is equal to omega into root over of L into C. So in this way for lossless line we derive the two formulas, alpha equal to 0, beta is equal to omega into root LC. Okay, clear? So now let us move on to the next topic. So the next topic is, we consider the wave reflection at a discontinuity in a transmission line, in an ideal transmission line. Okay, so what is the meaning? That means a wave is coming in a transmission line. What is happen if there is a discontinuous path in the transmission line? If there is a stopping in the transmission line, so how that is possible? That is possible by two ways. Either suppose a transmission line means two conductors are there, two conductors are parallel to each other, the two conductors are going. So what you can do so that there is a discontinuity? Discontinuity means what? Means the path is stopped. So there are two ways. One is what? You connect a load. So the two transmission lines that are divided into two sections by the load, so a discontinuity arises. Another one is if there is a short circuit in the transmission line, then that is another case of discontinuity. Are you clear? So first of all we are considering the discontinuity created by a load, then we consider the special case of short circuited line. So that is why here I have written, let us consider the effect of a discontinuity in a transmission line. In this case the line is either terminated by a load or accidentally shorted. Clear? So that means in a transmission line discontinuity can come in two ways. Either the line is terminated by a load, that means a load is connected, or there is a short circuit in the transmission line. So in this way there is a discontinuous path. Okay. Now in this accidental short circuit we can extend this discussion into two special more cases. What? One is open circuit line, one is impedance matching. Okay, so those two topics I will cover in the next class. Clear? So let us now focus at the discontinuity due to load. So remember, whenever there will be a discontinuity, what will happen? The impedance will be changed. Which impedance? The characteristic impedance. Clear? So what will happen? This is what I have shown in the figure. This is the transmission line, two parallel conductors. This is the source voltage. So this is the discontinuity created by a load. A load is connected which creates a discontinuity is created. So if you continue the transmission line like this, okay, if you continue the transmission line like this, so you see there is a discontinuity in between the entire lines going on like this. A discontinuity is created like this. The lines are going on like this. There is the discontinuity by a load. Okay. Okay, like this. So this is the discontinuity that is created. So here what you have to do, So this discontinuity will change the characteristic impedance. Okay, because the load will have a impedance, load will have some impedance, there is characteristic impedance, so there will be interaction of the two impedances. Okay, so these two impedances will form a resultant impedance of the transmission line, so that is called input impedance. If you see from the input side, the total impedance, okay, that is formed by the Z0 and ZL is called the input impedance. Clear? So this particular topic is actually related to your transmission system. Okay, modeling of transmission line. So we will focus simply on simple formulas, we will not go into the details. Okay, so always remember that this may look in series, but this is not in series. We are considering the entire transmission line going like this. We are showing only a part. The part is terminated by this load. That does not mean that this is in series. For simplicity, I have shown you to understand that this is terminated by a load. Clear? So from looking from the input side, whatever will be the total impedance of this, it is called the input impedance. Okay, so as I told you, this calculation is based on your modeling of transmission lines. That is, you have studied maybe in modeling of short transmission line, modeling of long transmission line in your EPTD. Okay, so we simply restrict our discussion to simple formulas, that we directly write the formulas, you have to remember. Okay, the derivation is out of our scope. So here we define two things. Z0 is the characteristic impedance, ZL is the load impedance. Okay, so for lossless line, already I told you, for lossless line what will happen? Alpha is equal to 0, only beta will be there, so propagation constant will become equal to beta only. So the formula of Zin, you have to remember, the input impedance formula is like this. Zin is equal to Z0 ZL plus JZ0 tan beta L by Z0 plus JZL tan beta L. Okay, so this is a complex derivation. So this derivation has come out by modeling of the transmission line, which is not in our syllabus. So we will not focus on the modeling. Okay, that will take us into a different section. So if you want this, then I can give you a note on this, how the derivation is there. Okay, so you simply remember this formula, that input impedance Zin is equal to Z0 into ZL plus JZ0 tan beta L by Z0 plus JZL tan beta L. So ZL is your load impedance, Z0 is your characteristic impedance, beta is your what? Parameter of the propagation constant. Okay, and here again the reflection coefficient is given as ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0. This you have to remember. And standing wave ratio formula you have to remember. So already I told you standing wave ratio is what? Vmax by Vmin. Again Vmax by Vmin will become equal to Imax by Imin. Okay, since V equal to I into R, so Vmax equal to Imax into R, Vmin equal to Imin into R, so RR will cancel out. So Vmax by Vmin will become equal to Imax by Imin. So this is equal to 1 plus reflection coefficient modulus by 1 minus reflection coefficient modulus. So in wave discontinuity, you have to remember the following things. Okay, so what are the things? That is, the discontinuity is created by either a load or a short circuit line. In this chapter or in this topic, we consider with the load case. So we have shown the line is discontinued by a load. Then we define the characteristic impedance, load impedance, and simply you have to remember the formula I told you. In this section, you have to remember the formula, because this derivation is not in our scope. Okay, if you want this derivation or these derivations, I can give you in the form of a note. Okay, simply we have the direct formulas. So in the book also you will not find these derivations, because these are actually very complex derivations. Okay, so first of all, this will actually means come from a hyperbolic function. This is rather converted into a tan beta function. So this is actually out of our scope. So you simply remember these formulas. Okay, but anybody is interested, you can give me a message. I will give you the derivations. Okay, the derivations will actually take a bit of time because it is not in the book. So I will derive it and I will give you. Okay, so simply you can go through, and if you can understand, you can go through. Okay, but it is not required. Okay, if you want, you can simply remember the formula, because in our syllabus is limited to these formulas also. Okay, you can also not find the derivations in the book also. So this much for this. So next class we consider the last portion of module 4 and we complete module 4, and in the previous week we complete our module 5. Okay, so go through this and ask any doubt.